Good morning, everybody. Haven't turned one of these out in quite a while, so kind of felt led that it was time to. So the last video I put out, I talked about it was a while back about when not to fight for a relationship and when to let it go. So why don't we talk about fighting for one? I thought about this morning how a relationship kind of roller coasters up and down. How you have these really great times and you feel very much in love and you don't want to be away from the person, and you want to just be as close to them as you can be. And then there's times when you can't stand that person. Like you borderline hate the person because you just don't want to be around them, and they irritate you so much, and you feel kind of low. And sometimes those moments happen a lot. Sometimes the fights happen a lot. And it got me thinking about what a relationship truly is. It's in those times when a lot of people tend to give up. Because they tell themselves, they convince themselves that we're just not compatible, we don't get along, it's not working. Here's the thing. Sometimes in a relationship, it's not going to work very well. But those are the times when your effort's really needed. Sometimes it's patience, sometimes you need time away, but a lot of times that's when the effort is needed to actually fix a few things in the relationship, and that means you got to be honest with yourself, and your partner has to be honest with themselves. I thought about, we really don't pay attention much to what we say. Like the wedding vows, the traditional wedding vows, right? What does it say? I take you as my spouse. I promise to love you and hold you and stay with you. And it says, for richer or for poor, when you're flourishing, when you're doing really well, and also when you're not doing really well, when the finances are not great, when you're having stresses, when the finances is just overwhelming you and you don't know how you're going to do it. One of the biggest stressors we have, right? In richer and poor. In sickness and in health. When we're healthy, when we're feeling healthy, physically and mentally. But we don't really think about that much, do we? In sickness and in health. When we're healthy and when we're not so healthy. Because that's when we take care of each other. For better or for worse. This is the part that got me this morning. For better, when times are great, when you feel so in love, when you go to work and you just can't wait to get home and be with them, when you just want to cuddle up and be close to them and just feel their touch and feel them hold you. And the times when you can't stand them, the times when you're angry and you're hurt and you don't know how it's going to work. For better and for worse. Relationships are not always good. We tend to ride them like waves, man. We ride the waves of good feeling and being in love. When that wave crashes, sometimes we feel like the relationship's just not good anymore and we want to give up. But that's not how it works. Now, I know it gets tiresome. I know you get tired. I know you get burdened down with it. But the truth is, that's what a relationship is. But we tend to forget that part. And maybe that's why so many relationships don't last so long these days as they used to. I heard a saying on Facebook, back in the day, we didn't throw something away when it was broken, we fixed it. And although there's some relationships you never should have got into to begin with, I think deep in your heart you know the ones that you should be in. And the ones you're in for a reason. And the ones that really matter to you and they're worth it to you. When things get broken, you fix them. You do what you got to do and you do not give up. I'm not saying every relationship is that way, but a lot of them are. I think we take relationships for granted sometimes. I think we get into them too easy. We take them for granted. We want the good feeling. We get the bad feeling, and it makes us want to give up on it. Now, this doesn't work for every relationship, like I said in previous videos. There's some you shouldn't have been in to begin with. This doesn't justify abuse or anything like that at all. But if that person really does truly matter to you, if you really honestly do love that person despite the faults that you now see in them, then fight for them. Be honest with them. Talk to them. Enough of the screaming, enough of the shouting, enough of the trying to win an argument. Talk to them. Be honest. Talk like two grown adults, not two kids screaming at each other. You know what I mean? But I think we need to take a little more realistic approach to relationships and not act like it's always going to be good. And just because there's times when it's more bad than good does not mean that it's a bad relationship. I told somebody this. I said a tunnel never lasts forever. It's impossible. It can be long, but we are living around Earth, right? It can never go on forever. The darkness can never last forever because the light always comes. No bad situation lasts forever. It comes and goes. Life was full of seasons. It's a beautiful thing God gave us, the 4 seasons. You know, summer, fall, winter, spring. They always change. It's a law of nature. You cannot change it. Nothing we can do to stop that. The seasons always come. The seasons always go. There's going to be good seasons in relationships. There's going to be bad seasons. Take both of them. Cherish both of them. Learn from both of them. That's how you make the right relationship work.